wins the bet.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Championship Wrestling. My name is Wwf, your ring announcer. On the opening contest, it is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my right from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 225 pounds, it is Rocky Verona. And his opponent from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, weighing 255 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the magnificent Morocco. This is a non-title bout.
Magnificent Morocco making his way into the ring. Not exactly greeted warmly by the fans about ringside. Non-title matchup, and Morocco would like to have a word with the ring attendant. Very little regard for the championship belt. The bell has rung. We shall have action momentarily.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are just 2 weeks away from the outstanding World Wrestling Federation Match Spectacular coming to the Los Angeles Sports Arena. And we are just 2 weeks away to find out if the dream of Tito Santana can be realized, to find out if maybe he can put an end of terror that the magnificent Morocco sometimes seems to profess when he defends the Intercontinental title. Morocco has been a champion through and through, but Tito Santana is the firebrand who could possibly pull the string on Morocco November 5.
Morocco in a side headlock on Rocky Verona. Morocco tenacious, to say the least. Pat Patterson, I'm sure you would concur with that.
Well, Vince, Morocco, we've said it so many times about his wrestling ability, but what a cocky attitude he's really getting. He's been the champion now for quite a while, the Intercontinental champion. And Vince, the only way, believe me, that you're going to make Morocco pay for it and make Morocco suffer is to take the championship away from him.
Knee left to the chest, and down goes Rocky Verona. Oh, nice and legal-like. Lou Albano's manager with a high-fiver there.
I love one of the signs that I saw earlier, some fan holding a sign that says, Lou Albano has fleas.
Well, he also has Morocco, which makes him quite an individual in the World Wrestling Federation as far as stature is concerned.
Morocco is very, very aggressive at times, and at times when he's in control, he's very cocky. He takes his time.
Look at this. Unbelievable. There's some of the scientific skill displayed by Morocco, who did not want to go for the 3 count. Obviously, had Verona in a rather compromising position. Nice spinning combination. Kick to the chest area. Now, again, we'll see Morocco go from the scientific skills into more of the brawling type techniques, both of which he does extremely well.
When he's in control, when he's got his man down, it's not always a good thing to do to walk around the ring and giving you a cocky attitude, but Morocco loves to do that.
Morocco leaning on his man, riding him, as it were. And now gives him an upper... Oh, my.
Look at that. Look at his attitude. Smiling. I tell you, Vince, when he's in trouble, he's a fighter.
Left hand has very little effect because, well, actually you wouldn't think you'd have much behind the punches of Verona right after the assault of Morocco. Another knee left coming.
You know, Vince, Morocco is well conditioned. He can take a lot of punishment. Ooh.
Drops the knee to the chest. Morocco picking up the momentum a bit now. Holding his man up. Planting him. And down to the canvas. Devastating maneuver. course, Albano, along with the magnificent Morocco, continue their winning way.
Here is the time, 3 minutes and 28 seconds, and the winner, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the magnificent Morocco.
Magnificent Morocco appears to be rather bored about this whole situation. Nonetheless, Mr. Morocco continues his winning ways. And scheduled up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take you now to the matchup involving Mr. USA Tony Atlas. So we go now to Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my right from Newark, New Jersey, weighing in at 225 pounds, here is Tony Colon. And his opponent from Roanoke, Virginia, weighing in at 250 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas versus Tony Colon. Should be an outstanding matchup. Here we go. Backing off with the clean break.
Does he ever look good?
Look at that arm drag. What power possessed by Atlas. Incredible power.
What amazes me is a man like this size, powerful and strong as he is, and the way he moves in the ring. He can throw a beautiful drop kick way up there. No matter how tall a man is, he can really reach the top of a man's head. Drop kick, leapfrog. Tony Atlas can do it all.
Atlas caught off guard there with Colon. Hammering to the side of the head. Atlas steps to the side and begins doing a little hammering in his own right. Little buckle. Oh, 5, 8, hurt. Oh. His ears will be ringing for some time to come after that.
It sure will.
Atlas behind Colon now. Oh! Devastating maneuver.
There's something we don't see Tony Atlas do too many times, and I tell you, he can do it all in the ring. Tony Atlas is back into World Wrestling Federation now with a whole different outlook, Vince. Whole different attitude.
Tony Atlas moving up with the hammerlock.
Very nice man, Tony Atlas. Don't get him mad.
Well, he does have quite a short temper. Atlas back on the side of the rope there, and Colon doesn't seem to have an awful lot behind his punches. Atlas, look at this. Uh-oh. Colon up. Colon way up. Down to the canvas, like falling from the Empire State Building.
What power, what balance.
Tony Atlas. He will be a force to reckon with in the World Wrestling Federation for some time to come.
Here is the time, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Here is the winner, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas gets the Duke. We'll take a look at the way he polished off his opponent. Here now, unbelievable strength factor that takes to hoist a man up above the head like that. Drop him down to the canvas. My goodness. And then from there, Atlas goes up, right down across this man. Tony Atlas, victorious. Atlas, as you brought out back with a whole different attitude than we have seen him in the past. Much more aggressive. Be it tag team competition or single competition. Tony Atlas victorious.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next contest is the one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my right from Westerly, Rhode Island, weighing in at 227 pounds, it is Chuck Tanner. And his opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 265 pounds, it is the Masked Superstar.
The Masked Superstar and his recent actions have caused a lot of dissension in the World Wrestling Federation, about which we will speak in just a moment. Right now, we're ready for the action to begin.
Iron Mike Sharp, 150% condition. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, 125% condition. That's according to Mike Sharp. Sharp, who the fans seem to love to call Wimp, will be at the Sports Arena November 5th to meet Tony Atlas. And perhaps in this contest, we will find out who is going to last condition-wise.
Earlier on, we spoke of the Masked Superstar and his recent actions as it relates to Eddie Gilbert. We would like to read you, ladies and gentlemen, a letter sent by Mr. Yashi Shima, who is the president of the World Wrestling Federation. And we're quoting, after viewing the recent actions of the Masked Superstar in his match with Eddie Gilbert, I feel that what he did was certainly not in the best interest of the World Wrestling Federation. Therefore, I have fined him a substantial sum of money and have further warned him that any further unnecessary actions will result in an automatic suspension from the World Wrestling Federation. Signed, Mr. Shima, President of the World Wrestling Federation. Comment, Pat?
Well, actually, Superstar is lucky to get away with something like that. He should have been suspended. There was no need for him to do something like that. Absolutely none whatsoever. Look what he's doing now. He's got this man hurt. Get his man in trouble. He refuses to pin him.
Oh, wow. Devastating maneuver.
Superstar is a big man, powerful man, very aggressive. And when he doesn't give somebody a chance like that, he really deliberately goes out and tries to hurt him. Here's that neck breaker again.
Devastating, to say the least. Finally to 3 counts.
I'll tell you, for a man over 270-some pounds,
he moves like a cat, doesn't he?
He sure does. He moves very well.
And the neck breaker, once again, taking the Masked Superstar on to victory.
It is the time, 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and the winner, the Masked Superstar.
Superstar victorious as we take you now to what we saw moments ago. Here the Masked Superstar setting up Chuck Tanner, a very, very quick match. Now watch this slingshot technique. You see the head of Tanner snapping off the canvas. Incredible.
Very,
then
very
from there
maneuver.
on to the neck breaker, which Superstar, the Masked Superstar, has perfected, perhaps like no one else in professional wrestling. For those of you wishing to comment on the neck breaker or Masked Superstar or for anything else in that matter as it relates to the World Wrestling Federation, we do invite you to write to us. Simply write to Wrestling, care of Post Office Box 15:38 in Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. We've had some very interesting comments as of late, and as a matter of fact, later on, we shall be reading you some of those comments from Bruce Turner of El Paso, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Slaughter, who will attempt to march successfully into Los Angeles. Sergeant Slaughter attempting to perhaps march over his opponent. I would suspect all the badgering you've done in the past. Sure, you're a big man. Extraordinary talents. But you must admit you have never faced Mil Mascaras. You know very little about Mil Mascaras.
That's all you have to know about him is very little. He's got less talent in his body than I got in my big toe. You know, there's one thing about Los Angeles. You know, I made a long-distance call out here to the promoter. You know, where I'm from, they got the Northwestern Bell, and they got the Midwest Bell, and they got Southern Bell, and I call up Taco Bell to get a hold of the promoter out here. Now, let me tell you, Mil Mascaras, I don't know if you know what you got yourself into. You're looking at the biggest, toughest guy you've ever wanted to face. I might not be as big as Andre the Giant or John Studd, but I'm twice as tough. There's one thing that's tough to look at, and that's a guy like you, a Mexican. You know what the difference is between a Mexican mother-in-law and an elephant? About 50 pounds. That's what the difference is. And Mil Mascaras, when I get down with you, you're going to look like about 50 pounds of the rear end of an elephant. Well, you be out there, and you be ready, and you better hide that face of yours. And I'd like to punch you one of these times. Why don't you sign a match with me?
Sergeant Slaughter, who could very well be in for a rude awakening in Los Angeles as he steps to the ring with the legendary Mil Mascaras. In just a moment, our guest, the opponent of the magnificent Morocco and perhaps the next Intercontinental Champion, Tito Santana.
You know, Vinny, Morocco gets out here and insults the Mexican people, calling us garbage pickers. Well, this garbage picker, Morocco, has been boiling for weeks, waiting for the time to step in the ring against you. I've been doing a lot of thinking, Vinny. You know, Morocco has been in a lot of tough matches before in the past. And he can take a lot of punishment. And that's exactly what I had intended to do to Morocco. But I put a lot of thought into it. One more thing that would hurt Morocco more than punishment would be taking that belt away from you, Morocco. I'm not going to forget what you did to me. Attacking me from the back. You know, you can call me anything you want, Morocco. Insult me. But I'm a wrestler. And you will find out when I step into that ring. Cobarde, te garantizo. Yo voy a representar a la gente mexicana. Me insultaste, me atacaste en las espaldas y me abriste la frente. Y ahora tengo la oportunidad de luchar en contra de ti y quitarte la faja. Para ti la faja es dinero. Y para Tito Santana va a ser el orgullo quitarte y ganarte en medio de ahí en Los Ángeles. Tito Santana está desesperado para llegar a Los Ángeles y para representar a los mexicanos y ganar el orgullo de la gente mexicana para atrás. Pagarás, cobarde.
Arriba! Tito Santana and his commentary, no doubt Mr. Santana will be counting down the days till the match takes place in Los Angeles against the magnificent Morocco. Waiting in the wings to join us now, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Louis Albano. Along with the magnificent Morocco, as Mr. Morocco, hopeful of a successful title defense.
When you say hopeful, you've got to be a fool at heart. You've got to realize that this man has more than proven himself truly a worthy champion and will remain a champion for time and time to come. And I don't believe that Tito Santana is qualified to defeat the superhuman athlete.
We didn't really say he was a Mexican anyway. He's more of a Chicano, right? That's right. And what's their national bird, Captain? The fly. He must be the captain. He is a history major. Chicano. Chicano. Yeah, a native of Los Angeles or Texas or wherever he comes from. Never used a fork. Ate all his food with tortillas, and now he's beginning to become a championship qualifier.
Now his blood is starting to boil like a jalapeno pepper. Now, if you can just come over the line, if you can just find out what it's like to be a real man, what it's like to be a person of class, you may deserve a championship match.
Are you like Clark?
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left from Tocula, Mexico, weighing in at 235 pounds, it is Tito Santana. And his opponent in the corner to my right from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 236 pounds, it is Jimmy Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, I believe, has had a great deal of amateur experience. We'll find out what kind of professional experience he has right about now.
It is going to be a tremendous event. Whenever Mil Mascaras appears at a wrestling arena, the fans circle out. And on the floor at the Los Angeles Arena, Mr. Mascaras returns to meet Sergeant Slaughter. And if we look at this contest closely, you'll find that Mil Mascaras has got to be on the offensive because Slaughter comes right at you.
That's one way to escape a hold. Reach for the bottom rope.
Obviously, when you lack experience, that's what you do. You reach for the rope. You know you're going to get a clean break.
We mentioned, beg your pardon, Pat. We mentioned earlier on the one of the letters or comments actually sent in, and we do appreciate them. And this one from Bruce Turner from El Paso, Texas, addressed to you, Pat. In your opinion, why does Andre the Giant never seem to want to go after a major championship such as the World Wrestling Federation title or the Intercontinental belt?
Well, Vince, you know, being the Intercontinental champion or the World champion, of course, there's a lot of prestige that goes with that. But Andre is Andre the Giant. There's only one Giant. And, you know, when you're a champion, there's restrictions that goes with the championship. Andre doesn't want to be restricted to nothing. He goes wherever he wants to. He wrestles whoever he wants to. And he just wants to be the Giant, period.
Thank you very much. And we thank Bruce Turner of El Paso, Texas. Santana, pretty much in control of things at the moment.
Tito is very, very aggressive every time he steps in the ring, but always very, very careful, Vince. He really concentrates. I tell you, in the dressing room before each match, he really sits down in the corner and concentrates on what he wants to do, what he plans on doing.
To the rope. Over his man. Right back. Jackson waiting for him. Over the hip. No! Nice blow.
Oh, what a takedown. Tito Santana is, without a doubt, one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet in wrestling. Great personality. Really, really friendly.
Here's so much about beefcake, as it were, in the world today. Santana, a perfect example of that. Good-looking young man. Fabulous build, a great athlete. And as you bring out, one heck of a nice guy.
He's very well liked by mostly all wrestlers, I should say. I'm sure some of them are probably jealous of him because of his success.
Well, he has fought long and hard for his success. It has not been an easy road at all. To the rope. Over his man. Nice leapfrog, showing the agility. Jackson telegraphing his maneuver, and his ears will be ringing.
Jackson felt that one. You watch when Tito, when he runs in that ring, he goes full speed. Tito played professional football for a couple of years, 3 years, I think, for the Kansas City Chiefs, so these are all-around athletes.
Graduate of West Texas State. Ooh, wow. Series of knees there in the lower abdomen area. Jackson being warned by the referee. behind his punches. Another. Santana.
He don't really like those punches. Look at it, Jackson. Tito has a temper, I'll tell you.
Yes, he does. Jackson now to the rope. Santana, back body drop. Right on the hip. In fact, Santana's measuring him now. Off he goes. Oh, forgot about it. Almost took his head off.
Oh. Jackson led it too close to the rope, and Pedro, he's going to pull it out. Look at it.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Beautiful maneuver. Oh, did he come off the rope with a flying elbow? Incredible.
Santana with his legions of fans as we get the official time.
It is the time, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and the winner, Tito Santana.
Santana victorious as we'll take a look at the way Tito polished off his opponent now. And Santana just about ready to unleash what is a patented Tito Santana maneuver. Look at this. Oh, you see the head snapping back as Santana with everything behind it. With a tremendous forearm. And then from there, Santana spinning around. Right back. Look at him. Arch back. And there is Tito Santana. We take you now, ladies and gentlemen, to Buddy Rogers' corner. The views of Mr. Rogers, those of Mr. Rogers alone, not necessarily those of us here on Championship Wrestling or this station. With that in mind, we welcome Buddy Rogers.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My guest this week is the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Magnificent Morocco, and his infamous manager, Lou Albano. It seems like the last time they were on my program that they felt they were put out or closed out, but I'm going to give them a chance to really express themselves. So I'd like to get together with you, Don.
It doesn't seem like. The fact is, Buddy Rogers, as usual, you tried to bring me out here to embarrass me in front of my millions and millions of fans all over America and the world. The fact is, I'm not here to talk about challenges. I'm not here to talk. A man you've ignored often. It is the captain's moment to bask in the sun. Captain, will you please have the seat? And Captain has something very important to say to you, Rogers.
Thank you very much, Magnificent Morocco. And Buddy Rogers, you sleazy, slimy individual, you've got out of your way to avoid Captain Lou Albano. You've made several statements that before you quit wrestling, you'd like to roll a big 7 and have Captain Lou Albano in that ring. Well, let me tell you this, Buddy Rogers, right now before all these fans out here, anytime you want, I accept your challenge. Have you got it, Buddy Rogers? Anytime you want, I accept your challenge. Right here and now, you sleazy, slimy punk, Buddy Rogers, I accept your ring. Right now. No. You don't punch me, Buddy Rogers. You've got it.
No. Is that conduct?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Is that conduct becoming a man who's supposed to represent anything?
you bet your life. You bet your life I represent what I want.
Is that conduct? It seems to me as though you've lost your cool. Possibly you have a tag team partner, or maybe you might find some guts to accept Mr. Albano's offer at some time.
Oh, I'll definitely have the guts. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say one thing before I go off. I would like to say that when it comes to Lou Albano and Magnificent Morocco, that whether they want me as a single or me as a double, I got Jimmy to back me up. And by golly, no matter where it is, we'll be ready, willing, and able. And with that, we'll go back to ringside, and thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next contest, it is a 6-man tag team match scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my right, from Slaughter Street, North Carolina, weighing 296 pounds, it is Sweet Hansen. And from Auckland, New Zealand, weighing in at 240 pounds, it is Tony Garea. And from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 234 pounds, it is Ken Dugan. And their opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at a combined weight of 690 pounds, here are the Wild Samoans, number 1, 2, and 3.
Interesting six-man tag team matchup and a very interesting Buddy Rogers corner moments ago. It appears though there is a little trouble brewing over there. Pat, what do you think?
Seems like it, and I'll tell you one thing. Buddy Rogers ain't going to back up from no one, especially from Lou Albano.
Rogers, former World Wrestling Federation champion, the very first one, as a matter of fact, and many of you recall the dignity of Mr. Rogers and respect that he brought to the World Wrestling Federation. We shall have action here in the six-man matchup. And you best watch where you see one Samoan, likely to see two more.
Well, they're a little worried this week, Vince. Look on the other side of it. Sweet Hansen and Tony Garea, and their partner is Ken Dugan. Of course, not as well experienced, but we could see an upset here this week, and I'd love to see it.
Well, the Samoans, you must admit, have been extremely effective in six-man tag team matches.
Yeah, they are. There's no question about it, especially with Lou Albano in the corner. It's actually 4 of them, and we all know how wild they are, very aggressive, and now they're worried this week.
Looking through Sika's legs. Drop kick by Garea. Over the hip, nicely done. Tony with tremendous timing. Alpha wants to come in. Referee Dick Worley, attempting to maintain control thus far, has done a pretty good job of it. In any tag team matchup, it's a really rough job officiating, especially in a six-man match.
It sure is.
Big Swede now steps in. Right away attacked by Camus. Ooh, wow. That's 300-pound Swede hand. Oh! Swede was laying a trap for it. Oh, nice reversal. But no, nicely done. Dugan in now for the first time. Dugan, the lightweight of his team. Right away, slapped down to the camera. Headbutt, he's down again. Oh. Wide open Dugan, and Big Sika's in there.
Oh, and
Talk about mean. Tag made now to Appa. Appa and Sika, the tag team champions of the World Wrestling Federation. Missing. Dugan back out. Well, no one missed there.
There's no question they are a great wrestling tag team.
Boy, devastating. Samoan drop. Well, that's a mean threesome. Those Samoans.
There could be a lot of teams, but if you don't know what you're doing in there, you got to have togetherness. And the Samoans, that's one thing they have.
Well, Albano taking the Samoans all the way to the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles for an unprecedented third occasion.
3 minutes and 20 seconds. Here are the winners, the Wild Samoans.
Wild Samoans victorious as we take a look at what we were watching moments ago. The Samoans on to victory, and we shall return, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with more outstanding World Wrestling Federation action featuring the likes of Rocky Johnson, along with Sergeant Slaughter and more.
And now,
Ohio, weighing 250 pounds, it is Bill Dixon. And his opponent from Washington, D.C., weighing in at 250 pounds, it is Rocky Johnson.
Yes, sir, The Rock. He is something. Individually or in tag teams with his new partner, Tony Atlas, Rocky Johnson is going to be a force to reckon with for many months, maybe many years to come in the World Wrestling Federation. Here we go.
Well, Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear, and Pat Patterson, the very popular commentator and wrestler extraordinaire as well, are going to have a one-on-one confrontation. And there seems to be some bad blood brewing between Mr. Patterson and Mr. Koloff. The accusations have been flinging back and forth. On November 5th, we'll see what happens at the sports arena.
Bill Dixon favoring his leg a bit.
Rocky looks better all the time. And
Yes,
I tell
he
you,
does.
for a man of his size and the way he's built, he sure moves good in the ring. Very spectacular.
Well, he does have a style all to his own. Very charismatic individual. Johnson drops so halt. Actually done.
Well, not too many wrestlers move like he does.
No. Not too many would take the chances that Rocky takes either.
Well, what he does, then sometimes he'll give a guy a flying drop kick, and in between he'll do a little shuffling, and it comes up with another drop kick. Takes very good timing. You got to know what you're doing. Which is a little bit of flash, and that's somebody's style. And I mean, a lot of guys would like to do it. They can't do it.
Rocky continued the pressure on the hammerlock as Dixon makes his way over the bottom rope. And we'll start all over to standing position.
The last couple of weeks, Rocky has sort of hurt his right elbow, and he's telling me that he's having a hard time lifting a little bit. It's going to hurt his elbow, but it sure doesn't look like it.
Rocky very easily getting out of that. And now a little assertion. Rocky, drop kick, nicely done. Setting up for another one. More on his shoulder. Rolling over, count. And a 3 count. Rocky Johnson gets the dupe, not surprisingly. And we get the official time.
Here is the time, 3 minutes and 49 seconds on the winner, Rocky Johnson.
If you'd like to drop a comment as it relates to Rocky Johnson or anything else going on in the World Wrestling Federation, we invite you to drop us a line. Simply write to Wrestling, Carroll Post Office Box 1538, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. And again, we thank Bruce Turner from El Paso, Texas, who dropped us a line earlier on. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, with Sergeant.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next contest, schedule the 1-4 with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my right from Panama City, weighing 220 pounds, it is Steve opponent from South Carolina, weighing 296 pounds, here is Sergeant Slaughter.
Look at this man. Sergeant Slaughter, who certainly does not like to be referred to as Gomer. You may not like his style or what he stands for. Well, his chin isn't quite that jutting. And Brand Wizard with his version of Mitch Miller. That's not the official Sergeant Slaughter shirt. He does have his own official shirt. Matter of fact, it's in a form of a cobra. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have seen it. Very, very special, very different.
All right, now after the salute and everything else, all the pomp and circumstance, Slaughter is ready to wrestle. Here we go.
Make your plans to attend the November 5th card of professional wrestling at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. Pick up your advance tickets at the Sports Arena box office and all Ticketron locations. The great matches coming to town. Iron Mike Sharp, Tony Atlas, they will meet. Ivan Koloff, Pat Patterson will have a date in the ring. Neil Mascaret opposes Sergeant Slaughter. And Tito Santana, perhaps the new Intercontinental Champion. Once the dust clears, after his contest with the magnificent Morocco, November 5 at the Sports Arena.
Sergeant Slaughter being warned by the referee for his actions. Backing off now.
Slaughter, so far, showing us his wrestling ability, and I've said it so many times, he can do it all in the ring. Yeah, maybe got a chance. Maybe got a chance for a takedown.
Almost, I think.
This king is really quick. Got it down.
Slaughter coming right up with the uppercut. What up in there, Pat?
He lost his balance. He went up too high, and he fell backwards. That's where Steve King should stay on top of him now. He lost his balance. Slaughter did.
Slaughter. Ooh. Elbow to the butt of the jaw.
Don't let no one fool you. When Slaughter is laying down hurt, he still knows where he's at.
Back body, no. Oh. Try to drop him on his head. Off again. Flying body press. Slaughter lunging and on top of King. Goes to show you what the weight differential and agility that Sergeant. Oh, get it.
Oh, that was a vicious clothesline.
There's a devastating cobra punch.
And look at Slaughter putting you under pressure, man.
A hold for which there is no defense, according to Sergeant Slaughter. No defense at all.
You're looking at one of the toughest men in wrestling right there, I'll tell you.
Sergeant Slaughter gets the Duke. We'll get the official time.
It is a time, 2 minutes and 57 seconds. It is the winner, Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter gets the Duke next week, ladies and gentlemen. You would not want to miss our special championship wrestling event. Scheduled next week, two of the outstanding lady wrestlers will join us in individual competition. And then an interview that you will long remember. It involves Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear, and our very own Pat Patterson. You will not forget the interview you'll see next week. And in Buddy Rogers' corner, no less than the World Wrestling Federation champion, Bob Backlund. All of that in addition to Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, and Ivan Putski, all right here next week.
We don't